You are about to witness the very exciting story of a city and its people.
Welcome to motherfucking Detroit.
What up, doe? What up, doe? This is Detroit Mail with another No Name podcast. Hey, man, shout out to Coolio, man. RIP, Gangsta Paradise. Lost. I won't say lost his life, but he died. He died. They say of a heart attack. Last I heard, his friend found him unresponsible in the bathroom. So shout out to him. Rest in peace. You hate to begin a show like that, but at least I want to pay my respects to Coolio. My condolences to his family, friends, and everything. You hate to see anyone, pass away, especially at a young age. I mean, 59 is young. So, to see someone pass away at that age, you hate to see it. And just want to pay my respects to him and his family. Now I got that out the way. If you have not done it, please go over to the YouTube page, ILW Network, ILW Sports Network, and subscribe to our page. Hey, man, shout out to the ones who've been subscribing, man. I appreciate it. Really, I appreciate it. It's been I love the Detroit love I've been seeing, and just the love for people who love sports in general. Because, above everything else, I am a sports fan. I say it plenty of times on this show, I am a sports fan first. I love sports. I mean, as much as my team been losing, I gotta love sports because once they out of the playoffs, I don't turn the TV off. I continue watching football. So, any sports like that in general. But since it's a Lions podcast, I'm referring mostly to football. So shout out to everyone who has subscribed to the page. I really appreciate that. It's mean a lot. You the ones who drop comments, I appreciate the comments. Keep the comments going, both negative and positive comments. Drop them, man. Let's chop it up. I'm not always right. So, if I say something and you can show me I'm wrong or just want to have a dialogue back and forth about it, man, shout it out. I mean, go ahead and drop a comment. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think I have a problem with those who come in trolling, disrespecting, all that stuff. I won't answer those comments, or I just hit it. I'd be like, all right, thanks for the comment, keep moving, because I don't get into like beefs online. But outside of that, I really appreciate it. Go over to our Facebook page. If you have not went to the Facebook page, go to the Facebook page, man. If you love sports, I mean, outside of just the Lions podcast, if you just love sports and you like chopping up with sports, there's a lot of great people on that Facebook page from all over the country who represents their teams, represent sports in general, NBA, and MLB, NFL, NHL, wrestling. Got a lot of wrestling heads on the page. So, if you like wrestling, get in there and chop it up with some of the wrestlers. I'll shout out to the Dirty Hills. Great podcast. You like wrestling, go to Dirty Hills podcast and listen to their podcast out of New York. Man, Kofi Weeks and good brother Bove. Great podcast. Shout out to my partner Lamar, who's on the show with me. He does a Chiefs podcast, Wild Card Chiefs. And man, give him a like, check him out if you're a Chiefs fan or you got a friend that's a Chiefs fan. Tell him to come over and check out the Wild Card Chiefs and our brother Nick, the big homie Nick, proud Jets fan. So we try to keep different kind of sports going. I'm looking to build the network some more. I'm looking for some people who want to just do a baseball podcast. Give me a holler. If you want NASCAR, because I don't know much about NASCAR. So if you want to do a NASCAR podcast and you want to get on the network and partner up, give me a holler. If you like baseball, just want to do a baseball podcast, give me a holler. We're trying to build a media conglomerate, like I always say. Anyway, let's get on into the podcast. I'm not gonna be long. We had a lot of injuries. A lot of injuries. I mean, you have, let me see here. I think I wrote them down. It was so many, I had to write them down. You got Austin Seibert, who was questionable. He's questionable to play and questionable as a player. I mean, missed 2 field goals last game, but neither here nor there. Hawkinson is questionable. Walker's out for the season. Kaminsky is out. Swift may not play. I'm about to say Golden Tate. Wow. St. Brown might not play. Kramer's out. You already know Big V is out. And plus the other ones who's been out since the beginning. Jacobs, our rookie, Jameson. Who else I'm forgetting? Akora, Levi on Sariki. So those players already been out, so we know about them. Oh, Josh Pascal, he's already been out too. So we have a lot of injuries. And shout out to Spirit of Detroit podcast. I was watching this podcast and I heard him say something about people complaining about this team, but at the same breath talking about how much depth we got. And I agree with him on that. That's something, the same thing I've been hollering. You cannot talk about how much depth we got. Oh, this team got great depth. I heard that from the beginning of the season. Got great depth, man. I mean, their team got great depth. And then as soon as players go down, you hit the panic button. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? I don't know. You don't have this player playing. Man, either we got it or we don't. It's no in between. We either got it or we don't. And on top of that, to build on either that, we talked about the coaching. Oh man, Dan Campbell, and his coaching staff, they're great coaches, and he takes chances and very aggressive play on defense and this and that. We hear all that. Then as soon as we lose, man, he's terrible coaching. Now don't get me wrong. I do believe in the Vikings game, especially the last play. As much as you go for on a 4th down, you should have went on a 4th down and possibly won that game. That would have sealed the game right there because Minnesota having more times out. So, I will say I think he should have made that decision to go for it then. And then, like I said, I think it was the Commanders game where they was putting all the pressure on Carson Wentz the whole game. Then towards the end of the game, it's the foot off the pedal, But one thing about me, I'm gonna try to stick with what I believe in. So if I say I believe in this coaching, I'm gonna give them some time to prove that they can coach, or some time to prove that they can't. It's only the 4th game now. I'm about to say 3rd game. It's only 4th game now. 4 games in. I'm gonna criticize because that's what I do as a commentator. So I'm gonna criticize. I'm gonna say what I felt, they should have made moves or changes or whatever. I'm gonna criticize, but at the same time, I'm gonna give them space to do what they need to do to move this team forward. We are in a rebuilding mode. So we can't be in a rebuilding mode and at the same time, you got your expectations way up here. That's not realistic. Now, is it teams I think they should beat going into certain games? Yes. And then when they don't beat those teams, I am kind of like, let me sit back and watch what they're going to do. But for the most part, I'm going to let them rebuild. Now, when next season comes around, the same things I'm saying now, I shouldn't see that next season. So when I start seeing that next season, then that's when it becomes a problem. Then that's when it becomes, okay, now I'm looking at the coaching like, okay, now you have space to prove. I didn't see any upward movement. It becomes a problem. Now, the next game they match up against Seattle. I think this is a winnable game. Just like I believe that Minnesota's a winnable game. They gave that game to Minnesota. Gave it away. When you're on the road, you got to take advantage of every opportunity given to you. Now, Seattle's coming to Detroit. Jared Goff, you have to play a flawless game. There's no getting around it. And you got to take advantages of the opportunity given to you. If your defense gets a turnover, you need to put some points on the board. I prefer a touchdown, but at least get 3 out of it. You got to put points on the board. You can't leave points out there. The first game, you almost made a comeback. Second game, we left points out there. Third game, you left points out there. This cannot become a pattern. You have to take advantage of the opportunity that you get. I want to see, can Okudah shut down Metcalf or Lockett like he's been shutting down other people he's been covering? Can he continue this Okudah Island theme that he's been doing so far? That's what I'm looking for. And if he can, that only leaves you really one other threat. And that's so if you get Metcalf, you shut him down, only leaves Lockett, or vice versa. When Seattle blitz, can Jared Goff read it and get the ball out of his hand and hit the hot receiver? I need to see that. And I need to stay disciplined. Discipline is the key to this game. Which meaning on defense, when you get the rush, Harris, Hutch, and the rest of y'all, don't over pursue. Because Geno is not Lamar, but Geno can run. So when he breaks that pocket, if you don't over pursue, you should be able to catch him. You should be able to get the sack. I think if you can rush with 4 and drop everyone back in coverage, he's gonna have a hard time. Geno Smith's gonna have a hard time. And I think that's what they should do for our defense. Now, I don't think you should never blitz. I'm not the one who say you should never blitz. I like blitzing at the right time or right opportunity because it throws the offense off balance. But we have to be able to we have to be able to, when we blitz, be effective, which means get to the quarterback, cause havoc, or if he gets the ball out, limit the yak yardage. Period. And I think if they can do that, and overcome these injuries, they win a game. It's at home. You got Cephas, you got Justin Jackson. I think they should play Jackson more. Jackson is a Swift type back. Now, I'm not saying that he is DeAndre Swift, but he's a Swift type back. That gives you that quickness catching out the backfield. And I think if you play him more in the running game, along with Jamal, along with Craig, I think that helps you in your running game. That helps at least buffer the Swift loss. Is it Swift level talent? No. And I don't have a problem with them sitting Swift. Let him heal himself. You're not going to Super Bowl this year. Oh man, we just start Swift. Oh, Super Bowl's not what we're gonna get. We're not going there. 7 games. I stand by that. I stand by the 7 games. So let players heal when they need to heal. You don't put them back out there. What you put them back out there for? We got depth, remember? Let them play that depth. Am I saying that right? Depth. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I think those are the keys. Let them play their depth. Give the coaches room to make decisions. Criticize, yes. But condemn them, talking about we need to trade people, we need to fire people. We need to pump the brakes on that. We need to give this team room to grow. Once again, because I know I'm going to get somebody in the comments. I'm not saying you shouldn't criticize them. Criticize them all you want, because I'm going to criticize them. But I put my criticism in the perspective of what I have. For example, And if I know I got a 6 at home, I put that in perspective of what I have at home. I ain't saying she a 10. She a 6. I know she a 6. I'm cool with that. Same thing with my Lions. I know what I got. You know what I'm saying? I got proper perspective of who my Lions are. They're a 6 right now, trying to become a 10. That's what we need to do. Keep our perspective in its proper proportionate. Keep it proportionate. I don't know why. Well, I tell you, my tongue twisters and tongue ties been by all last couple podcasts I've been doing. Keep it proportionate to who they are. The Lions are who they are. Criticize, but keep it in perspective. All right, y'all. Until next time, I'm trying to put out another video, get more in depth about what the keys to victory is and my prediction of who's going to win the game and the score. So that'll be coming up in a couple of days. Once again, I appreciate y'all subscribing to the page. And if you had not subscribed to the page, please subscribe to the page. If you're watching the video, please hit the like button. You know how YouTube is. YouTube got an algorithm. They don't have a human person. They got an algorithm. We got to help this algorithm out. Push it along a little bit. Hit that ding like button. Hit that bing bell button. And you see every time we go live, such as every Monday and Thursday at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., we go live. So if you love talking about sports or you just want to rep the Lions, man, come on over. We'd love to have you. We can talk sports all day long live. You get in the chat and talk. We go live on YouTube. We live on our Facebook page. We live on Twitch. We can chop it up about sports. If you want to come on and call into the show, jump in the comments and let me know you want to call in. I drop the number you can call. If you just want to go in and pop in on for the show for a minute, I drop the link. Come on over on the show, man. We you'll see with Lamar and Nick, we love chopping up about sports, man. That's what we do. But anyway, keep your perspective right. That's my final comment. I was gonna say something else, but I don't remember. But that would be my final comment. Keep your perspective in proportion to who the Lions are. That's it. Criticize all you want, but realize what you have. All right, man. I'm out. Till next time. Peace.